This morning, a political bombshell from a defiant Graham Platner.
We are suspending campaign operations.
The embattled Democratic candidate saying overnight in a video statement he plans to withdraw from Maine's critical U.S. Senate race, while also denying a newly surfaced rape allegation against him.
The things that have been claimed did not happen. It's not real.
Platner also railing against a party apparatus that he says pulled its support, including a vow not to help him raise money.
Those in power who have the ability to do so are using these allegations as an excuse to take away all of the things that we need to run a campaign. I know that some will think it's an admission of guilt, and it most certainly is not.
Once seen as a rising star, Platner facing a firestorm these last few days after a former romantic partner, Jenny Rassicot, publicly alleged he sexually assaulted her 5 years ago.
Did Graham Platner rape you?
By definition, yes. Absolutely. He violated multiple layers of consent that night.
Now, the implosion of Platner's campaign throwing into chaos a race Democrats saw as their best hope of flipping a Republican Senate seat, currently held by Susan Collins. Maine Democrats will have just 2.5 weeks to select a replacement for Platner, the state party saying it'll hold a nominating convention.
And what I care about is that Mainers feel represented in this process, that they feel included in this process, that we have the full transparency every single step of the way.
So, Hallie, perhaps no surprise here, a number of folks have already thrown their hats in the ring to be Platner's replacement in that race. But notably this morning, there's someone who says he is not going to be running that's making some news. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right, Greg. He a familiar face, and not just in his home state of Maine. Patrick Dempsey, you may know him as McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy. He says he gave real thought to running, but in a new op-ed, Dempsey says while public service is honorable, he thinks he can contribute more effectively through the life he's already built. As for the candidates who do want to run, this is a process that is going to move fast. There's that July 27th deadline to pick a new candidate, Craig, and then a very truncated sprint until November. Lots of folks watching this.
All right. Our senior Washington correspondent, Hallie Jackson, on that breaking news. Hallie, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.